So word on the street is that there's a national ketchup shortage going on right now. And as many of you know, I absolutely love ketchup. So this is bad news for me. Like, there was this one time I had an entire bottle and a half of ketchup at Steak and Shake in one sitting. And then we went to Kalahari afterwards and I got stuck on the water slide. We were in one of those big 4-person tubes and Noonan was all flirting with the lifeguard and stuff. It was a good time. But anyway, I think this ketchup shortage might actually be my fault. So I went to Five Guys the other day and they never give me enough ketchup. So when I went to eat there the other day, when I ordered, I said, give me what can only be considered an ungodly amount of ketchup. And let's just say, they delivered. So I've been hoarding all the ketchup to myself. I'm sorry, guys. Hello, this is Ryan the Rat here, and welcome to Rat Time, the show where I'm having an identity crisis. Someone out there has stolen my identity! So back when I was on my deathbed, you know, dying of the Rona and all, in my final moments I decided to do what any reasonable person would do and start scrolling through Twitter. And when I did, I saw something absolutely horrifying. Someone had stolen my name and likeness and used it to create a Twitter account where they were pretending to be me. First of all, I'm flattered. It's not often that someone with a mere 120 or so subscribers gets fan pages like this, so thanks guys. But second, I'm absolutely horrified, because I think that they're better at being me than me. I mean, check this out! They begin their defamation by setting up a bio under the account @RatTimeForAllTime. They describe the account as updates from your favorite lovable rodent, which is so much nicer than my own bio, which reads, contributing to the bathroom stall of the internet, one unfiltered thought at a time. The attack continues with an interesting selection of pictures to use to create the profile. For the main profile photo, they use one of me with bunny ears. I can only assume that this is done in order to make me look like one of those over-sexualized Playboy bunnies. I am disgusted at this thought. And to make matters worse, they chose a picture of me sitting on the buddy bench as the banner. Do you know what the buddy bench is? It's where elementary schoolers sit when they realize that they have no friends to play with. The idea is that someone will come and see them on the bench and sit down with them and become their friend. But in reality, it just reminds elementary schoolers of how lonely they are, because no one comes and they realize they have no friends. I don't speak from experience, trust me! Childhood trauma aside, all of this begs the question, who's doing this to me? And why are they trying to ruin my life? I have a few suspects, so let's get right into it. First, Ryan the Rat Eisenhuth. What? I can't eliminate myself. Sure, I've claimed it hasn't been me from the beginning, but then again, when the account was made, I had COVID. I was in bed, I wanted attention more than anything else, and I can't really remember what happened for a few days. After all, I'd even argue that no one knows me to impersonate me better than myself. Second, Papa John Lowry. I mean, it only makes sense. He wants revenge for the time I blamed the entire pandemic on him, and leaving our room wasn't enough to get revenge on me, as evidenced by the fact that I'm still alive. Third, Furl. I've probably made one too many comments about how he never came over to my house until like a year ago, so why wouldn't he want to commit a crime against me? Fourth, Magdalena, Lena, Lean Bean, Stupid, Mastro. This whole thing started right after the last episode of Rat Time came out, and I didn't use the clip that she sent me to use in that Rat Time. So she wants revenge for that. She also has said several times that she wants to overthrow me as president of Goldspire. And what better way to overthrow me than to ruin my reputation among my peers? It's all kinda sus if you ask me. Fifth, Michael Idiot Mike Scarano. Lately, Mike has been struggling with a lot of mice in his apartment. Indeed, this is the opportunity to get revenge on their brethren. Sixth, my good twin, Ryan Smith. Obviously, he was tired of not being considered the sexy twin, so he became the sexy twin by stealing the sexy twin's identity. It all makes sense to me. Seventh, the supreme leader, Jaron Hodgson. He's been making fun of me for poops and giggles since the beginning. Why would he stop now? Eighth, Olivia the Brain Flauto. As a neuroscientist, I'm sure that she would absolutely love to get inside this head. Also, there was one time that Ryan Smith told her that I hated her, and she told me that she hated me. So eventually we just started hating each other. I've gotten over it, but perhaps she hasn't? I don't know. Finally, Patrick Noonan. This obsessive Queen watcher is the most chaotic person that I know. He would jump at the chance to increase the chaos in my life, which is exactly what's going on right now. So with all the suspects laid out, I will now perform a rhetorical analysis of each of the tweets in order to figure out the thought patterns of the imposter so that I can figure out the identity of said imposter. The first tweet reads, "I may have COVID, but at least I didn't poop in the lake." This first tweet automatically eliminates Furl. He is way too self-respecting to bring up that time when we went to the lake house and he had to poop when we were boating, so he jumped off the boat and pooped in the lake, and then a bird swooped down and ate his poop and flew away with it. He'd never want that story revealed in a public forum like Twitter. Another tweet reads, "Seems fitting my twin is the first one to follow me." This means that the first person to know about this account was my good twin, Ryan Smith. Perhaps he was the first person to know about the account because he was the person who created the account. Interesting. Very interesting. The imposter goes on. Right after I posted my last donut poem, the imposter tweeted, "My next poem's going to be about how I put the cream in cream-filled donuts." Now, if you remember correctly, when I wasn't there for Donut Day that one time, instead of letting me write my poem, John impersonated me by writing a poem in my name. He's impersonated me before, and he'll do it again. Another tweet reads, "I love watching the world burn." This very much matches the vibes for both Jaren and Lena. But then, soon after that, they tweeted, "I love being public." Now, this isn't weird until one considers that it was posted just after I had talked in the Vicoli group chat about how justifying my decision to remain private on Twitter. This automatically eliminates anyone who isn't part of the Vicoli group chat. After that, the next tweet reads, "I try to stick to the 3 J's. Jesus, which sounds like something I would say because I'm a good Christian rat. Jaren, which sounds like something Jaren would say because he's quite full of himself, if we're being honest here. And Judge Chickanetti, may she rest in peace." It is worth noting here that Judge Chickanetti is, in fact, a male, not a female, and the only person I've ever heard refer to Judge Chickanetti with female pronouns is Mike. Funny story, by the way. So Judge Chickannetti's first name is also Mike. So when I said, "Hey Siri, call Mike," she started calling Judge Chickanetti instead of Mike. Now that was a fun one to explain. Moving on. The imposter also tweeted that I will be reaching out to the Council of Ryans to put forth a proposition that next year the Ryans will recreate the epic Josh fight. Now for one thing, I fully support this. For another, this tweet and all of the others were written in coherent English. Therefore, I'm eliminating Mike as a suspect. A few days later, the imposter tweeted that it's time for me to relinquish my claim as Rat. Now, I would never, ever give up the part of my identity that I find the most endearing about myself. Therefore, I'm removing myself as a suspect. That being said, the imposter also wants me to get a tramp stamp. And in fact, he set up a poll on Twitter in order to determine what my tramp stamp would be. Being that Jaren was one of the options, I think that he's a very likely suspect. Finally, the imposter tweeted just a couple of days ago that, "I can't wait to see my twin again." Now this sounds exactly like something my good twin Ryan Smith would say on his main account, but perhaps he just forgot to switch his account and posted it to the wrong account instead. At this point, it is also worth noting that both Jaren and Noonan have made imposter accounts for people in their lives before, including an Instagram account that Jaren made for Shane, Pep, way back in the day, as well as a Twitter account that Noonan actually made in my name. And both Jaren and Noonan were the only two people present when both the profile picture and the banner photo were taken. Also, there was that one time when Jaren tweeted, "Jaren is inevitable." I replied with this wonderful screenshot from RatTime37, insisting that I am inevitable. Using syllogisms, I proved that if the rat is inevitable, and if Jaren is inevitable, then Jaren is the rat. I asked the imposter what he thought about this directly, and he responded, "I told you, I'm not Jaren, or anyone else other than Ryan, Josephine, Alexander, Wolfgang, Cleopatra, Melchesky, Eisenhuth, son of David, Beatrice, Leonardo, Francis, Beckham, Eisenhuth Jr. only suspect who's ever drawn out names like that, to the best of my knowledge, within the Vicola group chat is Patrick James Michael Noonan. Now, I know what you're thinking. I haven't mentioned Olivia since the very beginning when I listed her as a suspect. But I also mentioned that she is the brain. She's one of the smartest people I know, and she knows neuroscience, so she knows how to psychoanalyze all of us without flaw. Now, I'm not saying that she did it, but what I am saying is that if she were to do it, she would be able to cover her tracks better than anyone else on this list. So in conclusion, there is not enough evidence to say who the imposter is. But I've laid out all of the evidence I've found so far, and it's only been, oh shoot, we're out of time. Maybe we'll find out who done it soon. I don't know. Thank you for watching this good vlog, and we hope to see you next time on Rat Time. Don't forget to comment who you think the imposter is in the comment section down below. This is Ryan the Rat, signing out.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Millions of families suffer every year.
When I said, hey Siri, call Mike, she started calling Judge Chickanetti instead of Mike. No, stop! No!
Calling Mike.
No!